This video is brought to you by SpiritBots. They offer some of the fastest, most reliable trading bots, buying and selling over 1,000 different cosmetics and weapons. As you guys probably know, I use them all the time, so be sure to check them out in the description below. Hi guys, it's Pyro here, and welcome to episode 15 of my Nothing to Something series. At the beginning of this week, we had the Vivid Plasma bucket hat, and around 20 keys in pure. So as usual, my goals were to buy quick sells and to sell my unusual. But anyway guys, let's kick off the episode with the first trade. So for the first trade, I ended up selling my Sniper Unusual for 19 keys and 3 ref, which was 1 key higher than what we paid for it. The reason why I did actually find someone who wanted this unusual was because I had a look through the other sellers on Outpost and looked at the offers they got. Someone offered 19 keys, so I added them up and just asked the guy if he could add anything else to the deal, and he did add around 3 ref. So from the time of me buying the unusual to the time where I sold the unusual was only around 5 minutes, and I think 1 key profit in 5 minutes is pretty amazing. I mean, sure, I could have gotten more than 19 keys, but I just wanted to get it off my hands nice and quickly. I guess the lesson you guys can learn from this trade is to just check what people have offered on other people's trades on Outpost. You might end up finding a buyer just like I did. Anyway guys, on to the next trade. So in this next trade, I had just woken up and found out that a trade offer that I had sent the day before actually got accepted. I offered 9 keys and 5 ref for a Miami Knights Dreadnought. It is worth 14 keys, and even though Dreadnoughts are typically hard to sell, I think just over 9 keys is a very fair price, especially as this hat has a really short history. But there we go, that's what the hat looks like. This next trade was actually really good. We upgraded our Miami Knights Dreadnought to a Miami Knights Conquistador. We did have to add 1 key and 3 ref, but keep in mind the Conquistador is worth 16 to 20 keys, whereas ours is worth 14. So if you think about it, seeing as we bought the Dreadnought for 9 keys and 5 ref, we are paying 10 keys and 8 ref for a 16 to 20 key unusual, which I think is a pretty good trade, especially as it is a really nice hat for Soldier, which will make it a lot easier to get off our hands. Even if we went to scrap.tf, we could sell it for a profit, but I wanted to hold on to it just because I knew I could get a pretty good offer on it. But there we go, that's what it looks like. Anyway, on to the next trade. So I had sent a trade offer for a steaming rubber glove. Obviously the guy accepted it. I offered 12 keys and 2 ref, and the glove is worth 15 keys. And I think I may have paid a little bit too much for it, but I still think we can easily sell it for a profit, and I find that Pyro Unusuals usually sell pretty well. But anyway, on to the next trade. For this trade, we actually upgraded our Conquistador to one with Miami Knights. The Miami Knights Conquistador is surprisingly worth more than the Disco Beatdown one at 19 to 22 keys. They are pretty much equal, so I asked if he could add some items to the trade, and he added a vintage professional killstreak flare gun, as well as some other smaller items. The flare gun is actually worth around 2 keys, so I went ahead and accepted the trade because I felt that the overpay was pretty good. And there we go, there's all the items. I did end up selling the flare gun on the market for just over $5 and then bought 2 keys with that money. So in this trade I found someone on Vatican City quick selling their Stormy Storm Battershelm for 15 keys. It's usually worth 18 keys, but I asked the guy if he could go any lower, and I ended up getting it for 14 keys. It's a fairly nice looking unusual, and Scout Unusuals are pretty easy to sell. Because we bought this unusual, we were completely out of keys to buy quick sells, which is a pretty bad situation to be in because even if we see a really good quick sell, chances are you can't offer on it. So it's always risky to do this, but I still went ahead with the trade because I knew I would be able to make a pretty good profit on it. But anyway, on to the next trade. For this next trade, I saw someone on Outpost had offered 15 keys pure and 3 keys and items on my unusual. The Miami Knights Conquistador is worth around 20 keys, but I added the guy just to discuss the price, and managed to sell it for 15 keys pure, plus a skin worth around 1 key, some strange professional killstreak man treads worth around 2 keys, and a bot killer wrench worth around 9 ref. I then went and swapped the man treads for a Dead of Night, then sold the Dead of Night for 2 keys. And then I sold these 2 other items on the market, and then I bought 1 key with that. So now we had plenty of keys to just go and buy some quick sells with. I found someone who was selling their steaming Janissary Ketch, which was worth 12 keys, but I managed to get it for 8 keys and 10 ref, which is a really good deal. It's a pretty hard sell unusual, but if I ran into any issues with selling it, I could just go and sell it to scrap.tf for 3 ref more than what I paid for it. But anyway, on to the next trade. Alright, so for this trade, I found someone who was quick selling their professional killstreak Australian Force of Nature with a bunch of parts on it for only 13 keys. So I felt this was a pretty nice deal, especially as it is worth around 18 keys. It might take a while for us to find a buyer, but it's still a really great trade. So if we take a look at our target calculator, we started off this week with around 42 keys in pure and unusuals, and now we have around 60 keys. So it would have 60 keys if we sold our unusuals and that Australian we just got. We have made a lot of progress this episode and I'm really happy with the amount of profit we've made. We're about halfway towards our goal and we need around 60 keys until we're able to get that Scorching Noble. Anyway guys, that's all the trades we got for this week. I really hope you enjoyed. I asked you guys in the last episode if you like this style or the old format of my trading videos, and you guys really like this style, so I am deciding to stick with this way of recording my trades, and I feel it's much better to watch. I'm sorry for the people who preferred the old way, but this new way lets me talk about what I'm doing in the trade, or why I think it's a good deal, for example. Whereas I noticed in the old style of videos, I wasn't very focused on talking to you guys, but this way allows me to record the voiceover all at the same time, so it doesn't sound like I'm tired in one clip, and really energetic in the next clip, for example. And I also want to apologize for the shorter episodes. I'm going to try to keep this series a weekly thing, and it's really hard to make longer episodes, especially when I'm trading unusuals. So anyway guys, thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe for more of my future videos, and I hope you have a nice day.